coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor. This is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
Good evening. I'm Albert Sharp, and you're watching MediaPlex News Now. The Government of Ontario is providing significant financial support to the arts sector. The Government of Ontario will invest $25 million in 140 arts organizations so they can survive this pandemic. The Art Gallery of Windsor will get over $200,000 as financial support. Despite COVID, the arts in Windsor are alive and well. I went out to bring you this story. The stage is set for Windsor Feminist Theatre to premiere their latest piece. Letters to Grace is a play based on the book Amazing Grace by Marty Gervais. It is a series of monologues covering letters from nurses to Grace Hospital during World War II. According to lead actress Kiana Porter, this production is not one to be missed.
Well, this one is a wonderful story, and because it's a true story, I feel like it's kind of a little bit more heartfelt just because you get to actually see what these nurses went through, and you get to learn about the tight-knit community.
The show is going to be performed at the Water's Edge Event Center on Riverside Drive. Now, before the production's ready to be staged here at Water's Edge, there's a little more work to be done behind the scenes. While most of the rehearsal process has been over Zoom, the cast has begun working in person under current COVID-19 restrictions.
We had the ensemble was rehearsing, and we had our vocal chorus, a few of them who could make it. And we quickly toured the space and then rehearsed outside in the parking lot and in the little courtyard area of the Water's Edge Event Center.
Opening night is March 24th. For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp. As the saying goes in real estate, it's location, location, location. And as Zach Ballock explains, there are many locations to be had in Windsor.
Empty, empty, and empty. Everywhere you step, there seem to be many vacant buildings on a stretch of Tecumseh Road East in South Walkerville, leaving some business owners to look at boarded-up buildings day in and day out. Brad March, owner of Schwab's and Primo's, said it is a little disappointing to see so many vacancies.
Yeah, it's really disappointing. We've had a lot of good clientele in the neighborhood, and to see them leave is really disappointing.
Just last year, there was a fire at Hogan's Printing right behind me, which also caused damage to nearby Palazzo Moda and the CIBC Bank, only adding to the growing numbers of vacancies in the neighborhood.
We had a tattoo place. The CIBC's gone now. There was a fire, and seeing empty places, it's hard in the neighborhood.
As of currently, there are no plans for a business improvement association. However, there have been talks about one in the area.
We've been trying to put something together with Littlefoot Foods. I know he's been talking about it, but right now there's no BIA.
Despite no plans for a BIA, residents say there should be a little more effort into dealing with the vacancies. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Ballog.
As things begin to open up, that would also include the library at St. Clair College. Jessica Tatton reports.
Reading is good for your brain, but when you can't get together with friends and discuss that favorite character's death, you're left unsatisfied. Due to COVID-19, the St. Clair College Library has been closed to in-person use since March 17, 2020. Melissa Forget, a library technician at the St. Clair College Library, said this closing affects face-to-face student direction the most.
It's a bit harder to facilitate that instant connection right away.
Students have been forced to learn individually, which can be difficult for some who thrive in group settings. Luckily, the library provides an alternative means for students looking for references and books that they cannot get in person.
We have also started something called LibGuides, or as you guys viewed on the website, it's reference guides. So we have tailored all this information from all of our databases into like one that is specific for your program. So if you're a nursing student, you're going to go into the research guides and you're going to find the nursing one, and we'll have everything that you particularly need for your course.
The library looks forward to continuing their communication with students and broadening their use of social media and online means to help students more efficiently.
We are available online, like just any students, if you want to reach out to us, just email at library@stclaircollege.ca. You can give us a call. And we're here to help.
With MediaPlex News, I'm Jessica Tatton.
Now let's head outside for an early look at the weather. Zach?
Ooh, it's cold out here. Currently at the corner, it is 2 degrees, feeling like -3 with the wind. So what do the next 3 days hold? Will it be warm? Will it be cold? Will it be wet? And will it be dry? Those details coming up in the 3-day forecast. Back to you, Albert.
Cade Ryan is here to tell us how CERB and EI benefits will affect taxpayers.
COVID-19 has affected a lot of parts of everyday life, tax season included. This year will be different for many Canadians. From March 15th to October 3rd, 2020, over $81 billion were collected by Canadian residents on CERB and employment insurance. As of April 28, 2020, 1 in 5 Canadian businesses had laid off more than 80% of their staff. Many people who have been depending on CERB and EI to pay their bills will actually owe money on their tax returns. Norm Levesque is a tax strategist with The Tax Expert.
Those who received CERB that were on an employment income that was in lower to middle bracket, they're all going to have to pay taxes, unfortunately. I say that if they didn't put any RSPs or things like that, because most people who got the CERB for the 7 months, and I'm talking about those that got it for the whole period, they made $14,000 with no tax withheld on it. So if they made 20 at their work, they're already in a tax bracket of at least 13%, which means now on 14,000 you pay 13%. That's a $1,500 bill.
Tax experts recommend Canadians fill out their return forms as soon as possible to avoid the deadline on April 30th. For MediaPlex News, I'm Cade Ryan.
Constable Tim Harrington, our friend from Crime Stoppers, is here with his weekly report.
With the warmer weather, police are once again starting to see a rise in thefts from vehicles. We'd like to take this opportunity to warn residents to lock it or lose it and give you a few tips on how to avoid being a victim of crime. Lock your car doors and roll up the windows. Don't leave your car unattended, and never leave money or valuables in plain sight. If you have a garage, use it or park in a well-lit area. Remove your garage door openers. Additionally, if you see suspicious activity in your neighborhood, call the police immediately. If you have any information regarding this sort of activity and you wish to remain anonymous, call Crime Stoppers at 519-258-TIPS or online at catchcrooks.com. I am Police Coordinator Tim Harrington.
While Highway 401 can be a pain to travel anytime, it can become downright dangerous when you add snow. Simranjit Kaur reports.
Environment Canada issued snowstorm alert on last Tuesday. The overall temperature hit minus 18 degrees Celsius and wind chill pushing to 50 km per hour with widespread 20 centimeter of snow. There was snowstorm till Wednesday morning, and Highway 401 was very dangerous. Amarjot Singh, a St. Clair College student, met with an accident during the storm.
Yesterday I was coming from my work from Brampton to Windsor at 401 highway, and when I crossed my half path I met with a snowstorm, and on that time my car skidded and hit with the side railing, and my car met with a lot of damage. As you can see, the rear bumpers.
Fortunately, nobody was injured in the accident. As Ontario has suffered from heavy snowfall last week, where the average temperature was minus 10 degrees Celsius and it went minus 18 and hitting the peak. According to weather forecast, this week gonna be mostly cloudy with the average temperature of minus 7 degrees Celsius. I am Simranjit Kaur reporting for MediaPlex News.
Vaccinations for COVID-19 are arriving into Windsor to a chilly reception. Zachary Ballog finds out why.
I'm standing outside the Windsor-Essex County Health Unit where they received a gift from Chapman's Canada, who donated an industrial-sized freezer to help with the vaccine rollout distribution plan. Now, these vaccines will have to be stored at minus 70 Celsius, so let's take a look at who's gotten their vaccinations so far. Currently in Windsor, 1,537 received their first dose, 11,491 have received their second doses, and in total, the 24,519 have gotten their doses altogether. So who knows, maybe when this is all over, I'll use that freezer to store my mountain of ice cream. For MediaPlex News, I'm Zachary Ballog.
COVID-19 has been a challenging time for everyone, but especially for international students at St. Clair College. Siddharth Krishna has more.
St. Clair College is reputed for its large body of international students. In fact, over 3,500 international students are expected to join in this academic year. But how is the experience of an international student studying in this pandemic season? Karan Bakshi, an Indian student of business, shed some light on this.
So after landing in Canada, the experience was very unique. I was asked to quarantine for 14 days, and wearing the mask all the time was very hard for everyone. Like, it was creating a little bit of breathing problem and all after. And the other thing was online learning, which is really very different. Like, we are not habitual with online learning, but the teachers were very helpful.
There's no doubt that the college has had to adopt some rather unconventional methods to learning during these uncertain times. However, that hasn't stopped students from choosing St. Clair College. For MediaPlex News, I'm Siddharth Krishna.
Recently, the Downtown Mission held their annual walkathon, this time with a twist. Tega Awabasue has the story.
Last Saturday, it virtually was the coldest night of the year. Coldest Night is a COVID-safe, family-friendly walk held to raise money. The money is for charities serving people experiencing homelessness, hurt, and hunger. It has been held annually in 144 communities across Canada since 2011, and the Downtown Mission of Windsor was one of the hosts. It is the biggest fundraiser for the mission, and it is their 8th year participating. The goal this year for the event was $70,000, and they managed to reach about 97% of their goal before the event day. Rushkini Gulin, Director of Development at the Mission and the event coordinator this year, said having it virtual had its advantages, and it may be possible to have a mix of virtual and in-person in the future.
It is the first year we've ever done that, really, where it's purely online. We might, next year, we might end up doing some of our event online too, because it's given the opportunity for a lot of people to participate.
Ivy Ehis, an attendee, said she was glad to be able to attend the event, even though it wasn't in person.
I thought it was going to be cancelled because of the COVID-19, but I'm so glad that it ended up not being cancelled. And I'm going to attend with a few of my friends. It's going to be very fun and exciting.
Attendees were able to walk in the safety of their own neighborhoods and also share pictures online. This has been Tega Awabasue, report from MediaPlex News Now.
St. Clair College will also be going virtual with their Student Representative Council elections. Jivan Arora has the story.
COVID-19 is affecting everything, whether it is study, business, or travel. And at St. Clair College, it is affecting the Student Representative Council election campaign. This year, the election campaign is happening virtually. Shubham Sharma is a director at Student Representative Council.
At this point of time, you just have to go to in class and just you can't interact with students. That's the only drawback.
St. Clair College made a new rule that prohibited in-person and in-campus campaigns. Christian Sigan is a vice president of student affairs at Student Representative Council.
Unfortunately, we're not allowed to campaign on campus this year, as you said. It is even a rule this year that posters and campaigning on campus is forbidden for this year. So everything that we can do for campaigning is all becoming virtually, and it is all run through the SRC.
Candidates are campaigning through their social media, and their videos are posted on SRC's YouTube channel. SRC election will begin on March 1 on Blackboard, so don't forget to vote. For MediaPlex News, I am Jivan Arora.
St. Clair College is providing a unique opportunity. Simranjit Kaur tells us more.
There is a golden opportunity provided by St. Clair College in the skilled trades. They are serving free tuitions and paid work placements to lead a new career in this sector. They are mainly targeted to women to engage in this program. Zoin DeSantis is pre-apprentice administrator at the School of Skilled Trades.
Well, basically, it's a program for individuals who are interested in getting into an apprenticeshable trade.
This program is provincially approved for 17 weeks at Level 1 apprenticeship curriculum, and then student will receive paid work placement for 120 hours. After finishing all these components, student will receive a Level 1 curriculum apprenticeship certificate in that trade. I am Simranjit Kaur reporting for MediaPlex News.
Reporter Wafa Al-Kadimi tells us how people are saying goodbye during COVID.
In this big world, nothing can be certain more than death. Losing your loved ones is hard at any time, but the coronavirus pandemic has made it harder to say a last goodbye. So how does a funeral ceremony got impacted by COVID-19? Jerome Brannagan has lost his mother on February 10th.
For our celebration of life for my mother was we would have had that room filled with many, many family and friends. And that would have been an opportunity to reconnect with our family and friends, and there would have been great joy, great laughter filling the room. And that laughter and that joy would have put everybody's heart at peace.
People who serve families to memorialize their loved one at a funeral service have learned more about technology during this pandemic. Brian Parent is a founder and managing director at Families First Funeral Home.
We've learned to use platforms certainly such as Zoom, Skype. We live cast through our YouTube channel to allow friends and family who are unable to travel here to be a part of the service.
One of the hardest things that you may face in this life is to say the last goodbye for your loved ones. Rest in peace, all people who passed away during this pandemic, and our condolences to their families. For MediaPlex News, I am Wafa Al-Kudimi.
There are many stresses in our lives, and Tristan Zuderveen is here with some tips to help us cope.
At some point in their lives, nearly 30% of adults are affected by some form of anxiety disorder. This, however, is not the same as generalized anxiety. Nearly every person on the planet has experienced moments of anxiety. Realizing you forgot to study for that math test, noticing your phone is on 1% battery, the never-ending cycle of wondering if you remembered where you left your keys. Normal anxiety like this relates to a specific situation and only lasts as long as the problem does, a proportional level of panic that is realistic in comparison to the issue. Anxiety disorders aren't as simple. When faced with a situation or problem, those afflicted by an anxiety disorder are prone to respond much stronger than expected to the stress. Even after the issue is resolved, doubt and worry may linger for a long time. Feelings of anxiety may come up for no reason at random times, and, despite there being no conflict, it can feel impossible to manage. Much of the anxiety that arises from these disorders may be unrealistic, like an overwhelming fear of a situation that will probably never occur. Whether you're facing a poor report card or an endless chain of what-ifs, it is important to learn to manage anxiety in whatever way works for you. I'm Tristan Zuderveen.
Each country is unique in its geography. What is the difference between Canada and India? Simranjeet Kaur explains.
Today I am going to present some differences between Canada and India. India is a democratic country located in Asia. Its name is derived from the river Indus, the valleys which were the homes for early settlers. Canada is a country located in north part of North America. Its name comes from Huron and Iroquois word Canada, which means village or settlement. India is a densely populated area. It covers over 3.2 million kilometers area in total, and the population is over 1.3 billion in 2020. It is the world's second largest country after China in population. Canada is covering 9.98 million square kilometers from Atlantic to Pacific and northward to Arctic Ocean, making it the second largest country by total area. Its population is 38 million. I am Simranjeet Kaur, and this has been your Geography Minute.
Windsor area art lovers will love this story. Tega Albasiwe has the news.
The Art Gallery of Windsor will be going online. Among the events and programs this year is Thrive, a drop-in arts programming for youth, which is funded by the Ontario Trillium Foundation. Thrive kicked off at the beginning of 2021 and is held bi-monthly.
Right now, we're all hanging out together. It's been really good. We seem to really enjoy our company amongst each other. So we're just kind of rolling with it as it goes and trying to be, what do people need right now? And what are they looking for? So
the meetings are held on a popular group chatting app called Discord. Once there, they engage in art-based activities and explore artworks in the art gallery's permanent collection, as well as socialize and chat with each other.
I think just having that early access to programming that affirms identity, that says, hey, look, there's like other people who are in this community too.
With new art species to see every day, it looks like there will never be a source of boredom for anyone. This has been Tega Albasiwe, report from MediaPlex News Now.
Let's rejoin Zach outside for a look at our 3-day forecast. Zach?
It's still cold down here at the corner, but we got some milder weather coming for the next few days. Let's talk about it in your 3-day forecast. Wednesday, we will have a 30% chance of showers and a high of 11. Thursday, sunny and 1 degree. And Friday, sunny with a high of 4. Positive numbers, or as I like to call it, shorts weather. From the corner of University and Victoria, I'm Zachary Bellog. Back to you, Albert.
With many families at home during these times, how are they all handling being under one roof? Wafa Al-Kadimi reports.
It has been more than a year since the outbreak of coronavirus here in Canada. Life has changed in many aspects worldwide. Schools and even children's play areas are closed. So how was the connection between parents and their children during this pandemic? Salma Riz is a mother of two kids, 12 and 11.
As a family, it's good that we sit together most of the time, and there is something habits in my children. I didn't know it before. I knew it this year, what they like more. Studying online, it's good seeing them most of the time, what they are doing, what they are and how they act with their teacher.
While children are spending their school time at home, many are concerned about how that impacts them and what about their relationship with their parents. Adam Amber is a grade 6 student.
I miss playing outdoors in the activities and playing with my friends, but on the other hand, I love playing with my mom, my dad. We interact with each other and we have fun.
Although it was a difficult year because of this pandemic, but it allowed parents and children to gather and interact more. For MediaPlex News, I am Wafa Al-Kadimi.
The eatery is opening up once more at St. Clair College, but as I found out, there's a little twist. Down here at St. Clair College's main campus, Eatery 101 is serving up a different kind of meal than usual. Let's take a look. Eatery 101 is a restaurant operated by the St. Clair College culinary program. However, due to public health measures, the restaurant was forced to pivot, now offering take-home meal kits for customers to prepare the meals themselves. Trevor Pitcher has been a frequent customer of Eatery 101 during the pandemic.
I tried all the options, to be frank with you, and it was incredibly convenient and easy to work with. And so we kind of really were surprised by how easy it was and how good, I'm not exactly much of a chef, I'm more of a scientist, but how readily I was able to make a good meal by following the instructions they provided.
According to Chef Maurice Boire, the new system offers a chance to teach not only his students, but the public as well.
Repeat customers is something that we're seeing a lot of. People who like the concept of going home and having a meal prepared for you, and at the end of it, all you have left over is 2 or 3 dirty dishes. Those are the customers that we're seeing repeated.
So when you're ordering out, consider Eatery 101 and bring the taste of class home with you. For MediaPlex News, I'm Albert Sharp. It's all about video games in this Money Minute. Jivan Arora has the latest.
Over the last decade, esports is gaining popularity. Esports is competing in multiple games just the same as we compete in other physical sports. The first esports tournament took place in October 1972 in Stanford University. Today it is a very big industry with viewers of 380 million worldwide. According to Newzo, a sports analytic website, the total revenue of esports in 2020 was about $1 billion. And it is estimated that it will reach $1.6 billion in 2023. Professional gamers stream their gameplay on social media. As well, colleges like St. Clair are providing separate courses on esports. A lot of websites and games are giving big prizes by organizing online tournaments. Games such as PUBG, Call of Duty, and Among Us are trending nowadays. To play these games, you just need a PC, a little bit of accessories, and some skills. If you have these things, you too can become a champion and maybe win big. For MediaPlex News, I am Jivan Arora.
Have you ever heard of Easter eggs in television and movies? I explain in this Entertainment Minute. Have you ever gone hunting for Easter eggs? No, not that kind. By Easter egg, I mean hidden details, clues, or references within a piece of media. Originating with the Atari classic Adventure, Easter eggs have become a staple of modern media, with people dedicating entire careers to finding them on platforms like YouTube. Notable Easter eggs include things like the HAL Room, a recurring room in Kirby games referencing the game's development company, HAL Laboratories, or the infamous Konami Code. In television and film, Easter eggs have been used to reference source materials and other famous pieces of media.
Coming.
Other Easter eggs include things like Starbucks cups appearing in every scene of David Fincher's Fight Club, or the real Frank Abagnale Jr. appearing in Spielberg's Catch Me If You Can, as a police officer arresting his own film counterpart. Regardless of the medium or form they appear, it's clear that Easter eggs are a fun and clever way to add further detail to media. Happy hunting. I'm Albert Sharp, and this has been your Entertainment Minute. COVID isn't funny, even if you're in the comedy business. Zach Ballog reports.
They always used to say it's 5 o'clock somewhere. Well, nowadays it's 5 o'clock anytime and anywhere. Silence. That is the atmosphere at local comedy hotspots in Windsor, Essex. Due to COVID-19, clubs were forced to halt open mic nights and regular shows at the start of the pandemic, leaving comics in limbo. Robert Kemeny, a local stand-up comedian, says that it has been a while since comics have told their last jokes.
Right before St. Paddy's Day of last year. It looks like the next show is not going to be till after St. Paddy's Day this year, so it's a whole year without doing stand-up in Windsor.
Just because there is no stage to perform on, there are still ways to make people laugh through video sites like Zoom, and there are even tutorials on how to do it. Leo Dufour, stand-up comedian and owner of the Windsor Comedy Corner, said that doing comedy virtually might have an impact on the clubs themselves.
Going through the phases, but eventually I don't think there will be stand-up comedy clubs anymore. Not in this way. Maybe on the internet or on the TV or something like that, but not live. I don't think we'll have the comedy clubs.
With in-person comedy at a halt, you can still tickle your funny bone by logging on and watching it online. For MediaPlex News Now, I'm Zachary Ballog.
There haven't been a lot of social interactions since COVID-19, but as Tristan Zuderveen reports, internet activity is changing that.
I want to tell you that the Among Us people are just the bottom half of the Teletubbies.
All right, vote Brian out.
Since the COVID-19 pandemic first began, social interactions have become more and more digital. What used to be a day trip to the mall with friends has become a Discord call in multiplayer games. The rise in internet activity has paved the way for the rise in popularity of streamers. Andrew Gorkin, also known as Twitch streamer Gorkinzola, seeks to comfort and be comforted through live gaming sessions.
I was watching a streamer and he just made me feel a lot better. And I was like, this is something I want to be able to do for other people when they're, down in the dumps. I have been using Discord more since the pandemic began. It's definitely probably the easiest way to keep my community in one place.
With everyday life becoming more pixels than people, we here at the MediaPlex have built a virtual reality of our own. Complete with our state-of-the-art radio production booth, and our TV broadcast control room. Reporting virtually from the MediaPlex studios, I'm Tristan Zuderveen, logging off.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Albert Sharp, and you've been watching MediaPlex News Now.
MediaPlex News Now is a production of the St. Clair College Journalism Program.